All right, good morning, traders. Today is July 8th, 2024. My SPY pivot this morning, 468.10. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY, FNGU, QQQ, and IWM all have a 3/8 bearish cross on their daily charts. SPY currently in a downtrend, closing below the 17 EMA trend indicator and closing below the one candle low provided on December 20th, 2023 of 467.82. All right, so that technically places that in a downtrend. QQQ, IWM, and FNGU closed below the 1220 low. Those are one candle lows, placing them in daily downtrends as well. Diamond Dow closed another day below the 3/8 trap, but above the 17 EMA trend indicator on our daily charts. So it still remains in an uptrend. Gold remains bullish, pulling back to test the support of the 17 EMA and the uptrend line. Silver closed 3 daily candles below the daily uptrend line, but still remains in a daily uptrend. So that higher low is still holding for silver. USO technically in a downtrend, printed another candle above the downtrend line. So we'll see where that goes from here. 3 or 4 days ago, trading days, we printed a candle above the downtrend line, and then we gave up that position, and we were back challenging it on Thursday and Friday, and on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday we printed a full candle above the daily downtrend line. So we'll see where that goes from there. All right, UNG continues its daily uptrend, trading up to the 585 level. US dollar index maintains its daily downtrend, but has closed 2 daily candles above the downtrend line, so that looking for that rubber band candle to break. We'll see what happens there. Let's go take a look at some charts. That's kind of all confusing. All right, so here we are with the SPY on the daily chart. All right, got these pink lines. Those are the anchored VWAPs. But if you look at the gray line right here, you can see the yellow line is the 3. We have a 3/8 cross on the daily chart right here. So we got a bearish 3/8 cross. The 3 is now underneath the 8 EMA. All right, so not only that, just because it's underneath the 8 doesn't make it in a downtrend, but the 3 under the 8 and breaking this these 2 lows right here of this consolidation places it in a downtrend, making a lower low. So we got SPY technically in a downtrend right now. So there we go with that with SPY. Now, if you attended one of my other webinars, I mentioned on the 2-hour chart that you could take a 3/8 cross on the 2-hour chart and short it right there, and you could manage it on the 4-hour chart. But you can see the 2-hour chart is still holding up with the 3 still underneath the 8. So things are still working out for the 2-hour chart. 4-hour chart hasn't even really come into play yet. You haven't needed to manage it until probably Thursday. You can see we spiked the 8 EMA right there on the 4-hour chart, but still holding strong here with the 3 underneath the 8 EMA. So technically, daily, we're in a downtrend. If you took the 2-hour cross right here, that makes a nice swing back to the midpoint area. And that's just an idea. You take the 2-hour downtrend and you manage it on the 4. So it's a strategy that I've used before. So here is the 1220 low right there. You can see that one right there. So you can see price action trading below that low right there. That's what places price into a downtrend at this time. So what am I looking for SPY? I'm really looking for it to come back to minor support over here and give us a little bounce and make a higher high. So we'll see what happens. But there's a way of managing there. Enter on the 2 when the 3 ace cross is over, and then manage it on the 4. And I'm looking for it to pull back to here. We'll see what we get today or this week. Let's take a look at QQQ. And on QQQ, thank you everybody. On QQQ daily chart, we have a 3 bearish cross underneath the 8. Also underneath the trend indicator and back into the minor support. Still got a little bit more room here to go on QQQ. The fact that they missed it by it looks like 50 cents, maybe $1 there. Tells me they're probably going to come get it either today or right after they test the 8 EMA, come back down here and test that then. So there's QQQ, kind of gave us a little bounce on Thursday and Friday. You can see those wicks up there. But here's QQQ technically in a downtrend. You can see the 3 underneath the 8 and breaking the 1220 low right through there. So there's QQQ. Excuse me. IWM. Here's IWM breaking the consolidation low. Puts that in a downtrend as it pulls back. Remember, they didn't put too many pivots in here for us to hang stops on. All they put was consolidation flags. Up, consolidate, see it? A string of stairs. Now they're breaking below this set right here, which puts them in a downtrend. So we have a 3 ace cross on the daily chart and closing below trend indicator. So like to see it pull back and test this minor support there and then bounce up and make a new high. That's what I'd like to see it do. We'll see what happens. There's IWM. We did QQQ. Let's do FNGU. So here's FNGU pulling back to the minor support right here. Gave us a little bounce on Friday. Couldn't quite hold that bounce. We have a 3 ace cross on the daily chart. There's the 1220 low. It's really hard to call that a low, considering that it's still above the 8 EMA trend, on the daily chart. But, I guess you can call it a low, but it's coming back to this area right here. Technically, so like on a 2-hour, it's in a downtrend. On a daily, it's kind of questionable. That is a low, but it's not like a multi-candle low. It's only got like 2 candles there, this one and this one. And it's not even below the 8 EMA. So, I struggle calling that a low and putting this in a downtrend, but we do have the 3 ace cross. And we are underneath trend indicator. So we'll see where we go from there. So there's FNGU. Diamond Dow on a different page, all on its own. Still in a daily uptrend. Almost getting the 3 ace cross here, but remaining above the trend indicator. Just kind of consolidating right through this 375 level. So Diamond Dow still in a daily uptrend. Has not broken any lows, hasn't broken any rules. The 3 is close to crossing. It may have crossed once or twice, but we still haven't broken any lows here. Here's the 1220 low, and you can see we still got a ways to go before we break that, about another $4 or $5. So there's Diamond Dow, still in a daily uptrend. Now let's take a look at USO. So here's crude oil. So crude oil was underneath this downtrend line and underneath this trend indicator. All right, and you can see what happened here. We bounced up, produced a higher high, and then we put in a 1 candle higher low. All right, it's kind of flip-flopping a lot here, USO. And then we went off to produce a higher high. That placed it in an uptrend. Then we had this pullback, which took out this higher low. That put it in a downtrend. Now we're coming back up, testing the uptrend line. So a break of this rubber band candle right here will place it back into an uptrend. So once we break that this high right here, this last high, once we break that, we now have an uptrend. Or if they produce another higher low, we'll see what they want to do. But you can see us getting through this downtrend line. So here's the one candle that closed above the downtrend line about a week and a half ago right there. And since then, we've been spending some time working on this downtrend line right here. And now we've got a 3/8 cross again on the daily chart. And a full candle printed over the downtrend line. So we'll see if they can do it this time. Now I'm looking at the pre-market, and I don't know, it doesn't look good. All right, so that's all I'm going to say. So it almost looked like they were ready to start that uptrend all over again, but they're struggling with it, with the 3 crossing over the 8 again right here on USO. Still in a downtrend line. Notice that downtrend line is acting like a rubber band, slinging price back below it each time. And we'll see if they can hold this time above the rubber band. Well, hold above the downtrend line. So just kind of consolidating here in a big bear flag at this time. UNG is showing some strength, putting in higher lows and higher highs. It's coming close. I think UNG comes up to maybe $6. This uptrend line right here, arbitrarily drawn in. By the way, it doesn't mean anything. It's just arbitrarily drawn in as a parallel to these two on the price action. So maybe it can get up to 6 and bull flag from there. That's what I'd like to see it do. Either that or come back and produce another higher low. That's what I'm looking for in UNG. But what a whopper candle it did on Friday. It had a lower low and a higher high. So you can see they traded from a place of volatility all the way back through the prior highs. So nice work for UNG. Now we'll take a look at precious metals. Here's silver. Here's our uptrend line right through here. Silver in an uptrend. Here's a low, higher high, last high, higher high. Got another higher low. We were looking for a higher high. We didn't quite get it yet, but we haven't broken these lows right here. And let me just say, we're coming awfully close to breaking those higher lows. And we have a 3/8 cross, the bearish nature. All right, and we're underneath trend indicator. But notice the trend line is still holding. So here's the spike right there of the uptrend line. That makes this candle the rubber band candle. As long as price stays above, wow, that doesn't give it much room, 2077, all right, we're still in an uptrend. Break the rubber band candle, and we're probably coming back down to test this low here. Right there. So if you look at the price action for silver, it is right through there. And let me pull this down a little bit. You can see right here, that would be minor support. We're getting a bit of a bounce, but not a really strong bounce. And minor support seems to be holding at this time, this uptrend. Just don't want to break this low, because then that puts this back into a downtrend. So there's silver. So if we look at this, if we back out, like way back here, we kind of got a head and shoulders pattern at this time. All right, so don't want to break this neckline right through here. That's the big thing. Don't want to break this. There's the left neck, the right neck. Don't want to break that neckline right there. Okay, or the uptrend line. Well, you can see this would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, and this would be the right shoulder. So I want this neckline to hold and price to return back up here and consolidate and eventually make a new high. So we'll see what happens. So what would instigate silver getting a new high? Well, a cheaper dollar would. So what could we be looking for in the daily charts of the US dollar index? Well, we'd be looking for a weaker dollar. Have we got that? Not really yet, but let's go take a look at that. And which one do I want? This is the one I want, US dollar index. Now, if we look at the US dollar, this is the July low, and this is the October highs up here. And then we've pulled back to the flat 200. We kind of bear flagged through here, consolidated, and then we broke down through, and then we created another little bear flag. And this is our rubber band. Here's the spike candle. And then one more candle provides the rubber band candle. And then you can see they consolidated for, looks like 5 days. Then they finally broke the rubber band candle. Came back down here. Tested some major support from prior price action. See the lows right there. So tested some major support and we bounced up. Back up towards the downtrend line. Now recently we've closed 2 daily candles above the downtrend line. We're still underneath this flat 200 and we're still right into this consolidation small bear flag that we were at before. So you can see there's a whole lot of indecision. See the size of that doji candle? You got a one heck of a wick and one heck of a tail down there. All right, so we're still in a whole lot of indecision. And we might remain here until we get some more economic data. All right, so now that leads me right into what do we got for economic data? All right, so Monday, we don't want that one. Let's try this again. All right, so Monday, that's today. Global economics, nothing going on there. Bostic's going to speak again. Consumer credit comes out at 3. So nothing really to provide a catalyst for today's price action. Let's look at Tuesday. Small business optimism index, 6 a.m. International trade goods and services, 8:30. Nothing really market moving on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, petroleum status at 10:30. Wholesale inventories at 10. Mortgage applications at 7. And a Fed speaker at 3. So nothing really, market moving, market shaking Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. All right, so here's the main event. CPI. 8:30 Thursday, January 11th. Put that on your calendar. All right, so this is the main event this week is the CPI. So we'll see what happens at 8:30 on Thursday. So what could we see in the meantime until CPI comes out? Probably a whole lot more of the same. Maybe a pullback to a midpoint of this pullback that we got. Probably a whole lot of more consolidation as far as price action. I would think there would be some more profit taking leading into CPI. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to probably balance their books and see which direction they want to head into after CPI. So CPI, main event this week, 8:30 Thursday. Jobless claims, 8:30 as well. A natural gas report at 10:30. A treasury statement at 2 p.m. Now, that's not an FOMC statement. It's just a Treasury statement and a Fed balance sheet at 4:30. And Kashkari is going to speak on Friday, and PPI final demand at 8:30 on Friday. And so for the NASDAQ, what do we got for earnings? Nothing really market moving. Everything's really non-notables. There's really no notables that are going to move the market. But let's just take a peek through them. Jefferies Financial, $8 billion. Albertsons, $12 billion. That's the highest. Wednesday, $4 billion. KB Home. Thursday, Taiwan Semiconductor. All right. We got $500 billion here on Thursday. And they don't know when they're going to report. You know, between what's going on in China and Taiwan, they probably don't even know if they're going to have a country in the next hour sometimes. But so they don't know when they're going to report, but it's $500 billion. I'm sure that will definitely push the SMH in one direction or the other, depending on their earnings. Being since it's, you know, $500 billion, I would think it's going to move the SMH. Unless, of course, it comes in right on target, in which case SMH will probably just continue with what it's doing. So there's the main event again. For earnings, it's going to be Thursday, and we don't know what time, though. Friday, what do we got for Friday? We got JP Morgan Chase. All right, so we got some big boys reporting at the end of the week. Okay, we got $500 billion for Jamie Dimon and Company, JP Morgan Chase, and United Healthcare, another $500 billion for United Healthcare, Bank of America. So we got some bank earnings, some big ones. Citigroup, BlackRock, HDFC, Bank of New York Mellon. All right, so we got some really big market movers coming in at the end of the week. So I'm glad I took a look at that because I did not know they were reporting. So we'll see what happens here at the end of the week. We got CPI and some big cap stocks going to report on Friday. Max Pain for today is 470. Notice the put to call ratio. We got more call action than we have puts. It's almost like 0.86 puts for every call. And for tomorrow, 0.81 puts for every call. So not a whole lot of room for short squeezing. Just want you to note that. All right, so, but 470 seems to be the max pain. And that's it for the market morning conditions and analysis. I'll take questions in the room. And if for everybody out there in YouTube land, we will have another visit at 4 p.m. where we'll do the market wrap up.